Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you've all had a wonderful day. Today's video is my makeup inventory. I had been hoping to film it back in January, but I just had so much makeup and it was kind of all over the house and I didn't have the time to get it all together to have a proper count up and share it with you guys. So that is what today's video is going to be about. We're going to be looking at numbers, which I find really quite interesting when it comes to makeup and things like that. I'm not that good at maths, so you might have to bear with me on some things. But yeah, we're just going to look at what we've got and then hopefully do a few more check-ins throughout the year, maybe one in the summer and one again around Christmas time, just to see if that has gone up or the numbers have gone down. And I'm also going to tell you what my goals for each makeup section is throughout this year. Okay, so we are just going to literally get into it. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lottie. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already and subscribe to my channel for more fun things to come. Okay, so let's get into it. So I'm going to start with primers. Now, I had a lot of primers. I actually decluttered 2 the other day, so I am down to 10 primers at this point in my inventory count up. 10 primers, some of them are like little mini ones, some of them are full size. I'm okay with that, but I would like to get the number down slightly. Next up is foundations. I have 10 foundations as well, which I don't feel is bad. Again, some of them are little sample testers, some of them are full size, and a couple of them aren't the right shade. So I'm going to try and see what I can do with those ones this year. But yes, I have 10 foundations. Next up is concealers. Now, this one is in my Project Pan, but I have 6 concealers, which I don't feel like is a bad number for concealers, but I do have some concealers in there that I know aren't my favourites, so I would like to get them out of my collection and just concentrate on the ones that I do like. My favourite is the Collection Lasting Perfection one, which is this one here. It doesn't have the lid, it broke. But yeah, I have 6 concealers. Next up is brow products, and this one might shock you, but I only have 1 brow product. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 3. This is a full size one, believe it or not, and it's just a tinted like spoolie with a product on it, and I absolutely love this one. It makes doing my brows really easy. I'm not into shaping them and making them look wonderful. I just want a quick and easy fix to my brows. So this keeps them in place, gives them a little bit of colour, and yeah, it's just my all-around favourite product. So I only have 1 brow product, but I would take this one with me to the grave. I love it that much. I did originally have another one, but I've just decluttered it as it was a pomade and just wasn't the right colour. So yeah, brow products, we just have 1. Now, eyeliners is a category I feel quite bad about because I tend to only use pencil eyeliners, but in this category I have pencil and liquid, and I have 12 altogether, and I feel like that is an excessive amount of eyeliners, especially considering pencil ones take a really long time to use up. I think I have 2 liquid ones, and they are the Soap and Glory, the name's gone out of my head, but they're Soap and Glory ones, and I have the rest, so 10 eyeliners are pencils. So yeah, that's a category I want to decrease, but I have been using this Clinique one for 3 months straight, and I still have a lot of product in here, so wish me luck. Next up is mascaras. Again, this is another category I'm not proud of. I have 14 mascaras. Now, I have kept 1 that is empty, so that is not counted in this 14, but it's one I really want to repurchase, and the name has completely gone out of my head. It was like a little sample one, and it was amazing, and I loved it, and the name has gone out of my head. I am so sorry. But I have been using the Benefit They're Real one lately, and I got this, oh, it must have been like a year ago when everyone was sort of hyping on about the Benefit mascaras. And I have to say, I do really like it, but I'm using this one along with a Barry M one, the Showgirl. And I can't stand the Showgirl one. It doesn't make my lashes stay big and vibrant. It kind of seems to diminish after a few hours. So this one's helping to keep it in place. But yes, I have 14 mascaras, so that number really does need to squish down because I feel like that's a ridiculous amount. Some of them are full size, some of them are like mini sample ones that I've received in beauty boxes. But yeah, that's a lot to have. Moving on to highlighters. So I have 15 powder highlighters, and that does not include ones that are in like face palettes because I'm counting them as their own separate category. But yes, I have 15 of these bad boys. Some of them are quite small, some of them are triple baked like this one, so they're quite large, but I have 15 powder highlighters. And like I said, that doesn't include ones like my favourite all-time. I'm gonna get it because I feel you guys need to see it. Okay, I'm back. So my favourite all-time favourite highlighter palette is the Soph palette. This has eight separate highlighters in it, so these aren't counted in my separate highlighter section. This is counted as a face palette, but I have 2 of these. This is my backup one and my other one is in my drawer, but if I were to count all of the ones I have in face palettes, we would have a lot more. So I'm trying to make myself feel better by counting these as face palettes. While I was up, I also managed to locate the little mascara sample that I really want to repurchase at some point, obviously after my no-buy. But this is the Per Fully Charged mascara, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. One of the best mascaras I've ever tried. I think it is a little bit on the pricey side, at around £18. But this product lasted me a really long time and was just fabulous. So I would happily have it back in my collection. But obviously I do have 14 mascaras to use up. So it's about getting those out and bringing in products that I love and want to keep. But obviously at the end of my no-buy. So yeah, I have 14 powder highlighters, which is quite a lot. And I know there's 15, sorry. And I know there are a lot in the face palettes that I have. But highlighters is kind of my category. I love them, I feel like they're amazing, they are my favourite product to have. So I don't feel bad having that many of them. Next up is liquid highlighters. And in this I have counted liquid highlighters as well as things like strobe creams and like fluid glowies. So this is the MAC one. I haven't used it, I actually got it for Christmas and I do feel like I need to use the liquid ones a lot more, but I am waiting for summer because I feel like summer is a good time to get out those like really bright, vibrant liquid highlighters, because I know a lot of people use them on like their chest and on their shoulders and things to make them look that extra bit glowy throughout the summer. So yeah, I have 8 of these. I'm not proud of it. I actually don't use liquid highlighters or strobe creams or anything like that at all. So if anyone has got any other uses for them that means that I can use them up quicker, I would greatly appreciate the support and help, because I just kind of feel like they're just going to sit there until summer when I eventually might get around to using them. Okay, so I have 8 of those. Now face palettes like this Imagination one, this, if I can open it, so this has highlighters, bronzers, like setting powders and things like that. And I have 8 of these face palettes. So this one is included, the Soph one is included, I have others. But yeah, I have 8 face palettes altogether. I don't feel like that's a bad number because there are so many products within those 8, but then I imagine if I counted all those products individually into separate categories, it would be a lot. So I would like to get this down by about half, but I know that that's not going to happen this year. Wish me luck though. I've shot my hair in the palette. Next up is blushes. Now I only have 2 blushes, which I don't feel is like a bad number because I don't use blush. So this is the Blushing Hearts Triple Baked Blusher. This is what it looks like. It is gorgeous. So it's kind of like a blusher and a highlighter, which I'm okay with. I'm not fussy. I have this one and a Pixie one, and the Pixie one I honestly don't know if I'll use, but this one I do love. And I intend to keep it in my collection. I don't feel like I need to declutter this. I feel like having 2 blushes for when I occasionally might use them is an okay number. Next up is palettes. So eyeshadow palettes. I have 29 eyeshadow palettes altogether. Some of them are Diddy, some of them are medium size, some of them are huge. So 29 palettes. Again, along with highlighters, I do love eyeshadow palettes. So I don't feel like this is a bad category for me to have quite high numbers. However, I know that there are a lot of palettes in there that I don't touch or I don't reach for at all, so I would like to be able to use them up or hit pan on them, or you know, use them enough that I realise I really don't like having them in my collection so that I can declutter them, and after my no buy, maybe buy some that I've really thought about having this year. Yeah, I mean, a lovely friend of mine on Instagram, Kim, she is lovely and she just treated herself to the James Charles palette with Morphe, and I never knew how much I needed that in my life until I saw her swatches and her pictures on Instagram. But as I am obviously on my no buy this year, I will not be purchasing it, but I have put it on a list, and if I get to the end of 2019 and I feel like I still really would like to have that, then I will purchase it in 2020. I am going hardcore no buy, so yeah, we can do this. Or I might even treat myself to it for my birthday, because I have asked for money from people. So I don't know, do you guys feel like that's cheating? Because nobody knows what to get me, and the only things I really would like are makeup products. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to hang on to birthday money and wait and then, you know, because I know a lot of people say that you should wait a month after you feel like you need something. You should wait a month, and if after that month you still really want it, then you should be able to get it. But obviously, as I am on my no buy, I kind of don't want to buy things, and I'm not buying anything with my own money, so I don't know if it's okay to use birthday money to buy those products. Let me know. Let me know, because I would love to know what you guys think. Because like I said, I'm not buying anything with my own money, and I don't want to justify buying stuff with everybody else's money, because I know that's not how a no buy works. But yeah, I mean, is it the same if I were to ask for that palette? Do you see what I mean? Let me know what you think. Anyway, so altogether, I added up all my eyeshadow pans in my palettes, and I have 415 individual eyeshadow pans. So what I mean by that is by counting each of these individually. Throughout all of my palettes, I have 415. That is mental. I have way too many, I feel. But like I said, a lot of those palettes I'm not sure I want in my collection, so it would be nice to declutter the ones I realise I don't want and just keep the ones I know I do. So I'm okay with that number for now, but I really want that to decrease. Okay, so next up is liquid lipsticks. So I'm talking about like Jeffree Star ones or Huda. Now I at the moment have 23. I don't personally feel like that is a bad number, but I know lipsticks and things take ages to use up. However, these minis by Jeffree Star, I've had a long time now. I think I bought them last summer. And I am just starting to use up a couple of shades, which makes me really sad. But it has also helped me to discover what ones I absolutely love. Like Celebrity Skin is my all-time favourite. So yeah, I really recommend the minis if you haven't tried them. Next up is just general lipsticks. So I'm talking about like MAC, the Soph ones I have, NARS. I have a couple of NARS, I think. And like lipstick pencils, lipstick crayons. I have 27, which I feel like is a huge number for someone that doesn't wear lipsticks as much as they wear liquid lipsticks. However, some of them are in absolutely beautiful shades. Some of them, like this one I'm wearing today, are shades I would not normally wear. So a lot of them are quite out of my comfort zone. Like I feel like I might take this one off before I go out. Because I just feel like it's really in your face. But at the same time, it is a gorgeous colour, and I do really like it, so I might just leave it on, scare everyone out and about. because I have really pale skin. So to have something as vibrant on my lips as I do is probably quite terrifying for people that I see often. My dad always says to me, he's like, oh, if you cut your lip open, ha ha. But yeah, I am trying to use up colours that I wouldn't normally wear, especially ones I've received in beauty boxes and advent calendars and things, because I feel like otherwise they're just not going to get any use out of them. Next up is lip glosses. Now this category I'm totally okay with. I have 2. And I feel like that is an okay number. So this is the Lemon Sorbet Lip Liquid Shine from the Body Shop. It smells amazing. It's really moisturising, which I like. But lip glosses aren't a category I will have a high number in because I just don't like their formula. I find them quite sticky. And like I said, I just wouldn't reach for them normally. So only having 2 makes me feel okay about that. Next up is finishing powders. I actually bought this number 7 one 2 years ago when my friend got married. I don't know if I've ever really opened it. Okay, it's open, but I don't think I have ever used it. Yeah, basically when my friend got married, we had a makeup artist come and do our makeup, and she used this, and it gave me such a lovely finish to my makeup. I was like, I need to have that, and I bought it, and I've never used it. So yeah, I have 4, and I would really like to get that down. So yeah, 4. And then last up, I have setting sprays. I have 3 setting sprays. This one is not the one that is in my project pan. This is another one that I have. I don't know how I managed to end up with 2 exactly the same. My mum does Avon, so that probably has something to do with it. But I'm okay having 3. I feel like 3 is a good number. They are not 3 that I want to keep in my collection forever. There are others I would love to try, like the MAC Fix Plus. There's a Morphe one that everyone's raving on about at the moment that I would love to try. But I have 3, and I know I can use those up throughout 2019 and potentially get some really lovely ones in 2020 if I feel the need to. So yeah, that is all of my numbers, and I have a tally here of which I have written down all my makeup products and how many I would love to use up this year. So primers, I've got down as 4 that I want to use up. I'm not counting ones I've decluttered because I don't feel like that is a true representation, as I didn't use them. You may notice that I don't actually have anything ticked off on here yet. That's a lie. I finished a primer the other day. It's in my empties video coming up. And I also finished a foundation. So we now have 2 green marks here. So yeah, I finished a foundation. It's actually this foundation. I finished another one of this. And the primer I finished was the Evelyn and Iona primer. Do not rate it at all. But yeah, so I want to finish 4 primers this year, which I feel like is doable considering I have a large amount. Foundations, I want to try and finish 3. Now I started using the other one of this just before Christmas, and it's taken me 2 months to use up. So I feel like 3 foundations is doable. More is obviously wonderful, but 3 is my target. Next up is concealers. I want to try and use up 4 concealers this year. Again, I feel like it's doable. However, this one I thought had nothing left in it and would be so easy to pan. There is so much product in this. It's ridiculous. I didn't realise quite how much, but there is so much. So yeah, this one is still going on strong. Next up is setting powders, which is obviously these ones. I want to try and use up 2, and that will get my numbers down by 2. I feel like this is not going to happen considering we're nearly in March. We're in March by the time you guys are going to see this. And I have not touched a setting powder, so I really need to. Next up is blushes. I have put down 1 to finish, but honestly I'm not worried if I don't, because like I said, I only have 2. Next up is bronzers. Oh, I didn't talk about bronzers before, did I? I have 5 bronzers in my numbers collection. This one is my absolute favourite. It is an Avon one. I'm going to be so sad when this leaves my collection. But I have 5 bronzers and I want to use up 2. which I feel like is okay. This one, the minute I hit pan on it, I'm never going to touch it again because I don't want to lose it. But yeah, this is the Avon Glow one, and it's amazing. Next up is highlighters. Where are we? Now, I want to try and use up 2 highlighters this year. Like I said, when I say use up, I mean completely use up that product. So if I declutter it, it doesn't count. So I don't have any that I've used up, but yeah. Next up is eyeliners. I really want to try and use up 4 eyeliners this year. That can be liquid or it can be pencil. I'm not entirely sure how doable that actually is, as this one has lasted me 3 months and there is a lot of product left in here. So we shall see. Next up is mascaras. I want to use 4 mascaras this year, which would take me down to 7, 8? I forgot my numbers. But yeah, I want to try and use up 4 this year. I feel like that's doable, and yeah, we'll see. Next up is eyeshadow pans. Now, individual pans. So these ones, I want to use up 5 of these individually. And I'm okay with that. I feel like 5 is a good target considering how long they take you to use. I do have an eyeshadow palette and a project pan at the moment, and I'm making some steady progress. However, I would like to see more progress, but they just take a long time to use up. Next up is lipsticks. I would like to finish 3 lipsticks this year. Again, not entirely sure how doable that is, as I don't reach for my lipsticks as much as I reach for my liquid ones. I feel that one coming. Bless me. But I feel like 3 is doable. We'll give it a go. Maybe. Next up is liquid lipsticks. Again, I want to try and use up 3. I feel like I'm coming to the end of a couple of these mini ones, so that would be really nice, and that would get some numbers ticked off my list. Now, I want to try and use up 2 setting sprays this year. I feel like it's doable. The one I've got downstairs is about here, maybe. I have a mini one and I have this one, so I do feel like that's doable. And then the last one, and this makes me laugh, I must have done this number after I decluttered a few, because I only have 1 brow product, but it says down here I want to use up 2, which is funny because I don't have 2. But this product is one I've allowed myself to repurchase as part of my no-buy. I think there are 5 products I've allowed myself to repurchase, and this is one of them. So I would be quite happy to use up 2 brow products in a year. This one is coming to the end, so I'm going to have to repurchase this soon. But I'm okay with that. It's a lovely product, like I've said. So yeah, that is everything that is in my inventory. There are obviously other products, like lip scrubs, lip balms, that kind of stuff, but I have just chosen the main things for now, as I don't feel I have such an issue with the others. Although lip balms, I have like 30 of them, so I should probably use some of those up. I've actually written down here that I want to use up 5 lip balms, but I do have an awful lot. I reckon I've got at least 20 lip balms. So yeah, that is everything for my inventory. I've got my tally there for my makeup usage, which I will keep you guys updated on. You will obviously see my usage in my empties, which I think is okay. And what's the other thing? The other thing I was going to tell you guys. Yes, we are going to update... I'll update you guys, I'll probably do an update in August, and then maybe another one in January, or just before Christmas, so we can see what my numbers are looking like, after a few months. So yeah, that's everything from me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this number tot up, and I didn't confuse you too much with my dodgy maths. But yeah, that's everything from me. Take care, I will see you guys very soon. Don't forget to press that bell button, whichever side it is, to let you guys know when I've uploaded a new video. See you later. Bye!